AppLovin. I think they're mediating with AppLovin as well, right?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that in the ads part because basically the rewarded ads are 120 seconds. So basically they have it on the most aggressive settings, so it's AppLovin ad.
Okay, cut that down even lower. It's still 25%.
Yeah, like seriously, guys. When you start scaling this, you can't have the most aggressive end cards. Like, no.
It's not. No, yeah, that's not possible to have, honestly. But
This is a no bullshit gaming show where we talk about games and their revenue in great detail, powered by our ad monetization, game design, and user acquisition triple threat expertise. Welcome to the 2.5 Gamers, the unfiltered truth served with a side of giggles. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously. Tune in now and stay 2.5 steps ahead of the gaming industry.
it's gonna be all the fun. Hello. Welcome. My name is Matej Lančanić.
I'm Felix Brober.
And I'm Jakub Remiar.
And we are your hosts. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you don't see fake background. It's not Christmas anymore, so the half gamer is back. It's Felix. It's not the Christmas tree anymore. There you go. And today we're going to talk about Magic Sword, the game we have on our radar for a long time. A long time. But it wasn't really there in terms of the revenues, but now it is.
I think it's still not quite there yet. It's more of like we need to talk about it.
I mean, we've everyone in Turkey has been talking about this game since it came out in January last year as basically the next studio and the next game that's going to be making a lot of money, basically. And I've been saying this to both Matej and Rima, like this is the next peak, this is the next big thing in Turkey. And what was it this week, right?
On
Tuesday, I think.
This week.
Yeah, this week. They announced the biggest ever Series A round in Turkey for 30 million.
Oh, wait.
The time you're listening, it was last week.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Spike raised also like 60 mil. So this is
Series A.
Spike did either Series A or actually C. Like it was quite big. This is not the biggest seed in. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the clickers.
Type, motherfuckers.
So Spike raised 50 mil in May last year.
Yes, which was
but it's not a Series A. It's not a Series A.
It is.
It's a Series B, no?
No, it is Series A. Come on.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Of course, you should know. You should know.
Which means that it brought together with this Spike raised 100 together.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway. Do you guys know also fun? You know Görkem Turk, our friend of the pod,
yes,
who works at Leighton Ventures. This is Leighton Ventures' first investment.
Oof.
This is the first one. So right out of the gate, Görkem Turk splits the goddamn arrow. Oh man, that's a great start to the fund.
Yeah, that's a great start.
Congrats, Görkem.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah,
so look.
And I guess we should also congrats to AppLovin because I'm assuming a large portion of this 30 million is going to be spent with them.
Exactly. Which brings me to today's episode sponsors, which is PVX Partners. And you don't need to raise 30 million to actually fund your UA because PVX Partners, simplest, most effective credit line for marketing. There you go. It's
Smooth
easy.
as it gets.
Smooth as it gets. I mean, I was literally waiting for this. If you're scaling your game business, you don't need funding. Here's the deal. PVX Partners, no equity dilution. There you go. So
hey Matej, how do you scale your games? PVX Partners.
PVX Partners. No, seriously. So you have the control of your UA budget without giving away your soul and piece of your company. So visit pvxpartners.com now and also check the show notes. There is going to be the link
Yeah,
There you
Felix,
go.
you wanna do your subtitles show now instead of the end of the
Yeah.
episode?
Look,
Guys, if you're watching this in Turkey, we have Turkish subtitles. We also have Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Russian.
And we have a Korean YouTube channel.
We also have a Korean YouTube channel. Yeah.
there you go.
Hey.
This is basically everybody in Korea because that's where we were last week. So yeah, well, Felix, now I can do this. I can do this, and I will
Felix
use it.
tries Pikachu face.
Yeah, it's like, what's happening?
It's just I can't believe Riverside took off the virtual backgrounds and then added media board instead. This is such a downgrade. Like,
No, and I actually played it right after our thank you notes to PVX partners, but it was only preview. So I was like, why are you not cheering up?
What
But
do you
anyway.
mean, Felix? You don't like the soundboard Friends?
Yeah.
guys, let's move on to Magic Sword. No one cares about this. Like, guys, let's just move on.
Let's go.
We can
Oh my god! Stop!
we can move to the magic
You
sword.
remember the time when I was playing with the camera and you both nearly killed me? That's the time
No.
to kill Matej.
It's not. You are not playing with the camera. Camera was playing with all of us. It was just zooming. Hello, high five,
Hey.
hey. You're still brothers. Anyway, okay, but you can actually like sometime put the camera movement on, and then we will see what's gonna happen.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
next.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. Next time when there's you hear this, it's gonna be.
Okay, I'm gonna fly
Okay.
to Slovakia and strangle you.
Well, you're flying actually to Slovakia, so
Yeah.
you can do it on
Well.
Friday. Anyway, okay, let's move to Magic Sword.
Okay, so let's move to Magic Sword. So regarding let's talk numbers this time. First time.
No,
Yeah.
people want to see the game and then see the numbers.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
talk game then.
Please, just
So the
please.
game itself, if you know the sword
Then you know.
genre, and you know, there are like 20 of water sword puzzles and stuff like that. We'll get to it and just like look it up. So this is a play on the sword puzzle genre. It's a very specific genre. We had few games already on the channel, specifically Colorwood from Bernie.
yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
it.
much very
That's
very
it.
similar game.
What do you mean for feel?
Um,
It's basically it.
yeah, for now. So this is the second one. What's really interesting here is that most of these games, if we go, we can check right here before we, let's do some numbers actually.
Fuck. Let's just do the gameplay. Yes, let's do it. Oh yeah, let's go to the
Okay,
numbers.
gameplay.
People
So-
want this.
Okay. Gameplay. So it's basically the core isn't that new. The iterations are the new on the core. I think that's very important to say. So most of the sword puzzle genre games are just basically you having bottles and like pouring liquid and trying to match the color and having the same color in the same bottle. So let's say few level based mechanics, definitely not that robust as match 3. So for instance, here we have a mechanic that there are some water segments that are hidden. Yeah, we need to like unhide move the one on top of it to kind of unhide it. Here you have a specific mechanic where you need to complete the specific color to reveal and give you pretty much choices for 2 new bottles. So let's start with here. And there we go.
Yeah, it's,
I don't know. I don't know if it was my superior blonde brain, but I didn't fail a single time until level 33, or was that by design?
it's
it's
I
not
think
hard,
it's
right?
quite
Well,
easy.
it's not hard. Like
For the start, yeah.
it's quite hard to create difficulty even in this like specific core. But let me show you a few other things here. So you slowly kind of fill in the bottles. It's really important to match the colors in a way that like it makes sense. So let's say now I'm unhiding this thing, this thing. By the way, it's super smooth that you can even move
It's really two at the same time.
2 at the same time. I missed with that. But yeah, it's like very, very nicely done. And this is one of the first iteration that this thing does. The production values If
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at all the sword games on the water sword, whatever sword you had there, the production values are not there. This is literally a royal match style production values. All the VFX, particle
Yeah.
effects, everything, animations, blah blah blah. So that's
Well-
that's the number one thing.
Anatoly was talking about this exact thing when we were talking about Colorwood Sword as well. He said
Hmm.
like it needs to be polished because
Yeah.
this audience really is into polish and high quality.
Yeah, exactly. And as I will show you in a second when we look at the whole genre, most of these games aren't that polished. The ones
Of
that
course.
are driving the whole genre is basically a very kind of easily done, organically ad revenue only driven game. That's
How do
most-
you know it's organically?
Sorry, not organically, but like there's plenty of those. So there's UA, but there's a lot of organics
It's
also.
hyper casual still.
Yeah, it's kind of. They also don't have that many mechanics within the curve, which means that the level design of this game, I guess, is the new wave where there's much more mechanics that you see being like these hidden segments, whatever stuff like that. I guess at level
But-
300, I will get like much more of these. Just to
Yeah,
get to it.
but it's quite boring and slow.
Which this? No.
Yeah. I mean, no.
Let's do another one of those. Who's the best game designer on the channel? Can you tell me the big difference between this game and Colorwood Sword?
There's no
There's no
UA
time. There's no time.
and no moves
limit.
or
Yeah.
no moves. It's just there.
Yes. And then was the other big difference?
Currency.
Ad revenue based. Like Colorwood is all ad revenue based.
Mm-mm.
All right, tell us.
So the genius difference that these guys have is that I really want the hard level now. Don't know if I can even show you through this one because I'll probably need the hard level. But yeah, let me try. So,
Tell me. Do you need to show us?
yeah, I want to show
Yes.
you. The problem is I don't know if I can show you in these easy levels because I literally need to break the level.
Ah, okay.
Ah,
Well,
okay.
that's the thing. Like I haven't failed yet.
Yeah, so the big difference here, I will get to it as we'll talk about it. I'll show it later probably. Is that when you break the level, the game tells you. This
Hmm.
never happens in the sword thing genre, whereas you just staring
you
at the
mean-
screen and you just like shifting around, you don't know what you're doing, and you run out of time. Best case scenario.
But there's no time basically.
Yeah,
in
so
here.
there's no time. So
Or
it's
no
even,
moves.
It's even worse because you just like you break your level already. You can do shit, and you're just like being frustrated and like looking at it. This thing
But
tells
then-
you immediately, and then offers you the +1 bottle,
Mm.
which is, I think, very good monetization trigger. Which is something that brings them much more closer to the IP kind of setup
Yeah.
of puzzle games. Whereas, for instance, even compared to Colorwood, you can break your level in Colorwood, and you just need to play for 4 more minutes, whatever you run out of time because you don't know you break it.
Same with Blossom Sword, right?
Yeah, probably same. So
Yeah.
you need to have a pretty good algo bot in the game that kind of, constantly checks the board if you even have more moves or if it makes sense or whatever. And when you run out of it, then it pops up the monetization screen actually. Like this is their
Hmm.
+5 moves thing, which
Yeah.
works very well because we see IP revenue on the game.
Do you think that the main monetization mechanic is that or the streak mechanic? Because the streak mechanic is simply amazing. Like when I lose a streak, I'm like
Streak
so close to
mechanic-
paying for it. Yeah.
Streak
It's
mechanic
default.
just drives into this. Streaks
Hmm.
mechanic
Hmm.
make it more powerful. That's it.
Mm.
Because without streak you wouldn't be that compelled to use that 900 gold to buy the booster, because if I buy the booster within the level, it's different after the level. You can use the booster, which is the same booster by the way, after the level. After I lose the level, I can only use the gold. I cannot use the booster if I have it here. So there's a big difference, and if I lose there, I lose my streak, so on, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So that's there. Yeah. Do we want to finish this one or no?
I think it's pretty
Do you want
clear.
to show the menu? Do you want to show the menu?
Yeah, we can show the menu. By the way, this is one other thing that I still think why I said that it's still not really there yet.
What do you mean there yet?
When we were talking about the investment and like the next big
okay.
thing,
Yeah.
because by level 50, when I was doing the match 3 episode, Royal Match was bombarding me with events. There were like 4 or 5 events already running on the side, stuff like that. These guys don't have that yet. They have like 1-2 events. That's it.
So we can now guess or hypothesize about like why is this happening, because on the UA front it's also, you remember what we were talking about, triple match city.
Mhm.
They were ready. I don't think these guys are ready yet on the UA front. They have
I mean, it's quite
uploading.
lean still.
I think they've been holding off, waiting for this round to come in, and then using that money to scale. Right? That's what would make sense, right?
Yes, but that's like, in my world, you are ready with like having few channels with low spend. You tested things, and then you get the money. Boom, you scale immediately. This will take them another month or two. Do you know what's going to happen in 1 month or two? Maybe that's going to be a quite different story on the UA side or whatever.
I mean, they've already been cloned like 8. I counted 8 clones that have the same name nearly, even. So it's like, yeah.
See, this is the screen I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a hard level, so I bricked it, and it immediately tells you this the moment you click it. So you don't have to wait. You and here's your streak. See the plus bottle. Even though I have the boosters, I still need to spend. If I don't have the gold, immediately monetization, store initiation.
Yeah.
So that's very clever. Yeah. Let's give up. Yeah, we lose our streak. There we go. See how polished the animations is.
It's so good.
Yeah. So this is the kicker regarding the monetization. They've done even one more life. So there we go.
If I ask you to, where do you think the 2 co-founders, which company did they work in before founding Grand Games? What do you think?
I mean,
Rolling or Peak?
Good job, Games.
Good job, Games. Okay.
Okay.
No, it's basically the 2 co-founders called Bakir and Mustafa, and Bakir was a marketing director, and then Mustafa was a game developer. So I guess the founding team really understands the UA part as well, then, because if you're marketing, I guess you have to know UA, right?
Well, if you're
right?
Marketing director, doesn't really mean almost anything. No offense, obviously.
You could have 5 people working under you and you do shit.
Exactly. I had CMOs with zero knowledge about UA, honestly. Few of them were my bosses, so I mean, I had very close contact with them, and they didn't really know that much. So, marketing, yes. Decision making, yes. UA, a little bit less.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just saying it doesn't really mean shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me finish the feature set and then we'll talk numbers. Yeah. So, as said, this is currently the magic streak thing, which is happening recurringly. So I had that one yesterday. There's one today. Again, 11 hours, which pits you against pretty much this kind of a event-based leaderboard. Then there's this kind of weekly world and country leaderboard, which is ongoing as like one of the main features here on the bottom. Then there's the daily challenge thing, which, by the way, have a little bit of a different setup of levels. You have these crazy high levels, which my guess are in the creatives.
Maybe.
I would guess so.
Maybe.
As per usual, where you have this, see there, because the bottles are freaking giant. Yeah, we were using this kind of a blob, which is, by the way, very nicely animated. And we're slowly kind of eating our way to the thing. And this is by the way, time-based. You see? There's a difference right there.
Time is ticking.
Yeah, exactly.
Tick-tock.
So, they have it a little bit spiced here with like a different core, a little like altered score, let's say. And that's pretty much it. Like nothing else to it. No other progression layers, no additional things or whatever. Maybe they unlock somewhere there later, but
just check the YouTube.
Yeah, I'll check if there's something, but still, as I said, by level 50, I would have multiple events from Royal Match or both Royal Kingdom unlocking in there, like the Dream Games pipeline.
When was the level you saw the first interstitial? Like 25 or something?
23.
22.
22
to 23.
Yeah,
22 to 23.
Okay, yeah.
That's the first interstitial.
Where are the rewarded videos? Why interstitials?
Oh, so basically they have rewarded video. It's for the life. So you can see there if you press +4. And I've watched like 10 in a row. So basically if you lose a life, you can just go there and watch a rewarded. So yeah, if
Yeah,
you
but
keep losing lives. But it's not that hard, right? So like, it's not.
And they
that
won't
many
give you
impressions,
the
I
one
think.
for the 900 gold. It's,
But there is 900. Like, look, just click on that. Go
What do you
back
mean?
to the plus sign on yeah, there you go. Click, and you have refill for 900 and +1 for the
reward
life,
video,
for
yeah.
the reward video, which
but
is basically the
+1
same.
is only 1 life. Refill
Okay,
is 5 lives.
Okay, but okay, fair.
It would be too much value from one ad. I wouldn't give you that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you want to show the crazy good metrics before we start talking about ads?
Yeah. Yeah. So regarding the metrics themselves, so the
Yeah.
good part is that it 95% revenue is US, and it hit 55K a
Yeah.
day yesterday,
Yeah.
which is great. And you can see the big kind of scaling these late few weeks.
Right after the announcement of the seed.
Yeah. So they're already shoveling the money into UA.
So yeah.
The game was launched on April 2024, and yeah, like pretty good kind of a slow hockey stick, as you would
Here we
expect
are.
from a
Yes.
puzzle game. Regarding downloads itself, it's because we know it's so expensive, so it's 9-10K downloads a day, most of those US, so this is very still big money being thrown into UA if you count whatever value optimized campaigns for US users. I can't even imagine how much that would be. And then active users data is not available, so we won't get that.
Yeah, it's quite
Had to
early.
use downloads for the ad for the ad revenue estimates. But can I just ask a question? What
No retention
happened
time.
on January 7th?
January 7th.
Yeah, or January 8th. Sorry, January 8th.
What should happen?
Click-
Grand Games released another game called Car Match.
Match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You sure?
you have it there.
Oh, you have it there. There you have it. Yeah.
It
was there much
it
sooner,
was there
man.
for a long time, man.
Oh, really?
I was checking the game, and
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I was looking at downloads, and it says 0, and then suddenly on the 8th of January.
no, this
that's when
was
you start seeing
released in July last year.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
their first game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say on
The-
January 8th or the last few days, it's just they opened up way more countries on uploading campaign.
The good part when you can see the similarities with Spike. If you look at the Car Match game, what do you see here?
Mm.
Mini Cooper?
Not Mini
very,
Cooper,
very
man.
similar art style.
Yeah.
And also the same thing, template.
Yeah, it's a template, same as Stylebusters and Blitzbusters and
Blitzbusters.
whatnot, like Spike
Yeah.
are doing. So they are basically going like into puzzle genre. They have a template and they're slowly building it up. I guess that's by the way the same thing that the Royal Match is doing. Like pretty much every Turkish studio that's going to puzzle games knows the rules here, that you need to be efficient and you need to kind of recycle and do modular stuff with your game.
Yeah.
So the first game probably already laid the foundations of the second game when we're looking here. That's what I wanted to say. But there's actually I saw like one other game in this genre. I guess we're gonna cover soon, but this looks very familiar to Block Jam.
Oh yeah.
This
Yeah.
literally looks like Block Jam itself. So let's say,
Just with cars.
yeah.
Which is a good call because cars low CPI.
But it's like a very nice pivot. By the way, this was second, not first. The Car Match was the second. This is July 24, and this is April.
So I guess they killed off the other one, right? And focused on Magic Sword.
No, they released Magic Sword, and then after 3 months, they released also Car Match.
Yeah, but pushed
Oh.
Car Match and then scaled back, and now they're kind of
Which didn't work
scaling
out,
this since
basically.
like September.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. As said, like you need to have as many shots as possible as fast as possible. So this is still good. So I guess if they now have 30 mil to kind of spend and like run the UA on a game that has very good metrics, that's a definitely good thing. we'll definitely keep this on the radar episodes. Not next one, but the other one probably.
Yeah.
We need to let it grow. But yeah. What?
Do you want to show the retention curves as well, and then
It's
we can
too
move
early,
on to
man.
ads?
That was no retention curve here.
Oh,
Already showed it.
no retention curves.
Would you say this is like a hybrid casual game?
No, I wouldn't say
Why?
this is really hybrid casual. It's like,
Why?
I would guess that it's 85% IP revenue driven.
You are wrong.
Or
You're
even
wrong,
more.
really. But you know what? If this is a hybrid casual game, we have something for you. Because we have something exciting for the hybrid casual devs out there. Because we've talked about it before, and it's something worth repeating because Supersonic from Unity is hosting a competition, and they're looking for a next hybrid hit. It's called hybrid, well, super hybrid. So you check the QR code which is flying around, or go to superhybrid.com. These guys have a very strong team of publishing experts, including some game designers and game economy specialists. So, they can take your hybrid game to hybrid business, and they're offering full support. So for the team, some incentives like 10K monthly while you iterate, and 30K in bonuses when your game hits milestones. Plus, it's non-recoupable. So it's happening until January 30th. So send your game into Supersonic. It's superhybrid.com. Super Hybrid competition. Thank you very much, Supersonic, for sponsoring the podcast. And now we can continue.
Yeah. So yeah.
Go.
Do you want the screen, Felix, or should I keep it?
No, I'll just talk about it, right? So it's still pretty simple, right? It's because there's only one rewarded ad placement, which is on the main menu, which is the life to increase, which we talked about. And then, as we said, interstitial start on level 22.
Which is segmented.
And yeah, probably not right now, I'd say, but basically they show interstitials. Then I got it on level 22, 28, 31, 34, 37. And I have a feeling probably what they'll start doing is every level after a certain time, if you don't convert to IAPs. But estimating the ad revenue here is a bit tricky because I'm only going by downloads. So the error margin.
It's all US.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. It's also error margin here is really big, right? Because I'm going on downloads instead of active users. So I'm thinking that you probably have users see anywhere between 6 to 8 interstitials per session, which means that right now the game, but like that's me paying one run, right? So I saw 5 on my first time user experience, or my first run when I was playing it. So if you actually have good retention, which I assume this game has since they raised 30 million, you're going to show that many interstitial ads, I think. I put one rewarded ad because I don't think people have any need to watch a rewarded ad at all. So maybe 50% of users watch one rewarded ad, but not more, right?
I think it's too much.
Eddie, I think you're very generous.
I think it's too much?
Yeah.
Should I take it
I
off?
would say like
Take
30.
0.5?
Yeah,
I would say
25.
Yeah, 20-30%, not more. Honestly, I haven't even watched it, and I played.
These are players, man.
Yeah.
They'll pay for it if they want it.
Yeah. I mean, that's also quite bold assumption, but still. Yeah, it's like let's do 30%.
Yeah. So that means right now the game is making. Let me see here. So that means the game is making about 11 to 15K a day in ads, which would be 24% of the overall ad revenue.
Yeah.
Of the overall
Which is
revenue.
pretty much what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I changed the rewarded, right? Yeah. No.
No, I don't think so. This is going to turn into like it would need to be like super big volume and super hard segmentation there to kind of go there, and they would need much more. You can do these things, but they don't have even the basic feature set for the IP event pipeline. The Discable event, whatever event, that event, the fake leaderboard event, whatever. Like we know these events, like we see them all the time in like Royal Match, Hexasort, whatever, everywhere. They just don't have that. So I don't think so.
Do you think it's weird that they don't have banners? Like,
No.
or do you think that's going to be added on
No,
later on?
they
think that's
don't
gonna
want
be-
to have banners because they want to pose as a premium title, like Royal Match, like
Exactly.
Zen Match Factory and stuff like that. So no way. And you can see the play in the game itself that if you look at it just by its visuals, it's just like very nicely polished. And this is the part that I wanted to show you. So if we go into sort category by downloads, you can see there are like, okay, this is Traffic Jam, Colorwood's there. That's the biggest basically sorting game by downloads. Then we have Water Sort. And if you look at Water Sort and just compare the visuals, how Water Sort looks, I think they updated the screenshots recently, but still like it's nowhere close as the polish this game kind of, you know, has here. And yeah, it's just not there. And if you look at all the other games that do have these, like I think there's even less water puzzles that I've seen last time, but there's a lot of those. If you go on the other hand to the, just let me finish this one and then we can go. If you go to the revenue part, there's Hexasort because it's under sort. There's Seat-Away, which is again different core, and then there's Magic Sort. So by revenue side, they're already leading their kind of very specific kind of Water Sort genre, like subgenre. The whole thing is kind of dominated by Hexasort, but this is not really the same core, so I wouldn't put it in the same thing. And there's pretty much nobody behind them in the same like Water Sort something puzzle. So I think Nut Sword is the closest one, which is doing like nothing because there's an ad-driven game there. So they have it open there if they can scale it. Definitely.
Now moving on to the UA part. Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello. Well, in that case, let me just find where the UA is. Oh, here. So as I suggested before, it's not a lot of stuff, to be honest. Well, let's just get rid of the sound. So as you mentioned, I mean, Uplavin, I think they're mediating with Uplavin as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that in the ads part because basically the rewarded ads are 120 seconds. So basically they have it on the most aggressive settings, so it's Uplavin ads.
Okay, cut that down even lower. It's not 25%.
Yeah, like seriously, guys. When you start scaling this, you can't have the most aggressive end cards. Like, no.
It's not. That's not possible to have, honestly. But anyway, the good part is when I say they're not ready. I mean, they have very like tons of different playables, which is good. But it's only on Uplavin, and you can guess like what exactly it is. This is it. So basically just sorting stuff, obviously.
Level 2,500.
Yeah, 2,000. Yeah, of course. Like what is your level? Mine is 2,558.
For sure.
Yeah. So okay. So this is it. This is the first one. Then we have few others, and now this gets a little bit interesting.
This is the big bottle one. Exactly with that goo that I showed you in that daily challenge. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the daily challenge with some nice background music. I feel almost like in Korea in the elevator on the like 36th floor. There is a little bit of emoji. Fine. That's it. Second, now do we have third? Again, same thing. Different types of colors, but still the same.
Plastic bottles.
Oh yeah, true. Plastic bottles.
Good spot. It's like Lego faces, huh?
Yeah, kind of like from Wish, I guess. So we have then another one.
By the way, if this would be a real level, it would be so frustrating because so much manual work.
Yes.
You don't want to play this game.
You don't. It's already
got a cute cat, so I want to download it.
Exactly. There is a cute cat. So how many playables we have already?
3.
Only playables.
This is only playables.
Only
1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
This is the 5th.
Oh, there's the magic pot. Oh, there was the wand.
Yeah, it was the one.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. There's also like slightly spooky sound in the background. Oh, okay.
Sword and relax. Okay.
Don't be scared, Maciej.
Sixth playable, guys.
No
sixth
creatives,
playable.
just playables.
This is only Uplavin. Harder
Only
than you
Uplavin.
think. So this, but Uplavin is the biggest channel. That's the thing.
Mhm.
But in here, it's all playables. And I mean, 5 playables. Well, this is 6th one. Sorry, 7th. So, I mean, this tells
No
you
videos.
quite well. No videos because this is just playable end card, right? Or interactive end card. And there are some videos, but there's not a lot of them. But this is a good baseline or start for any types of UA. And there's 7, 8. These are all basically the same. So we have a lot of playables. Do you remember how many playables Blossom Sword had? Very similar number, and they were scaling heavily. So Uplavin prepared for scaling, but what if you want to scale? I mean, to let's say like Royal Match, and you have the 30 mil. You can't rely only on Uplavin. I mean, it's not really
Uplavin only. Yeah.
Yes, because that's like it's Uplavin here and Facebook. So it's like basically two channels, and you don't have really any playables on Facebook, but we have videos at least. So now we can actually watch all of these videos. I mean, so this is one.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Mm.
Also the
CGI 3D.
polished. Yeah, I would say very polished.
This is pretty nice.
It's nice. It's nice. The first one is also quite
Hexasword.
kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen it until you said. But again, pretty good. I would say very high polish. Quality is the same thing. Same thing again. And we have. Where did we see it? Oh, yeah, of course. Exactly that. So they're borrowing a few different things from different games, but this is another video, and we have only 9 pages of these videos for January. So it's kind of same thing, but it's all uncovered, so it's not that mechanic when you really sort these things and the colors, and then just pop the other bottles. And then we have this one, which is still. So you have the thing is you have 7 different playables on Uplavin, and you have 5 videos on Facebook. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Seriously,
doesn't make any sense. Why?
Because it should be more. It should be way more, because this is. I'm pretty sure like this. It's 2 months old. It's still live, so they're running. And this is the one that I want to show you. It's not kind of the long bottle, but still.
It's the same. They just stacked it on top of each other.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, like, why don't you just have more of these? Different variations, different backgrounds, the same elevator music, the same sound, like everything is like, it's quite, I don't know. I don't see, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to say, but yes. And we have there's a different color. Wow, it's like this is more pink. Okay, I mean, great. So I was curious. I was trying to actually, let's say, Ads Library, because I tried to find this on Google Ads Transparency, but I couldn't find anything. So I went to here into Facebook just to see Magic Sword, just to see like what's exactly they're running, and if I'm not missing anything. And I think like, look, so I have this interesting tool which is called AdScan, and this is not paid ad, by the way, but still I use it for checking or kind of calculating the spend, and this is only Europe Union because of the laws and stuff. So this is the creative they are running the most kind of spend. And then I found,
was that one in Sensor Tower as well?
I think so. It's somewhere hidden. I can try
to find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's, I mean
We'll read
it's
that.
9. Yeah, it's 9 pages, so it's not that.
So they basically
Hard.
added holes into it.
Yeah, but there are a few different things.
Ah, end cards.
Yes, exactly. But look, the end card. It's the same level basically. So it's not really.
That's,
But
that's
look
not
at
good
this.
for your fake dying king.
Interesting.
So
Ah.
this is where it got a little bit interesting, because I couldn't see this in Sensor Tower. Maybe I wasn't really looking that well, but I could see this immediately in the feeds of Facebook ads library.
Mhm. This is
So
very
they're
nice.
using this. This is really nice, and also using this kind of buzz
Screw
gem,
gem, like
screw gem,
Yeah.
buzz gem. Yeah. So that's nice. But yeah, it's
Mm.
like, look here. I mean, now you can actually add another ad and run this. So yeah, they're running. This is I think that's it. Nothing else. Just a little bit brighter. But yeah,
But
here
it
we
looks
are.
like they have
Yeah.
the hallmarks that to see that they really know what they're doing, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
Well,
We have. There's
Oh,
a
is that is a hook? Is a hook?
there's a hook. She's screaming, "Help me!" So there was this guy. I think I had it in the Rolig versus Voodoo comparison on LinkedIn, where there was this little blob saying, "Hey, move it" or something, and it was quite popular in these games. And then I think some lady said it was actually invented by Popcore guys, and it was the person or the character says, "Hey, move it."
Mhm.
It was actually the voiceover was someone who worked at Popcore, and it was really popular, so they used it in all the creatives. So this is kind of a variation, basically. And like, "Hey, help me," and instead of "Hey, move it," so like, "Hey, help me," and then that's it. Like, so it's a hook. And yeah, we're here. It's not free, but it's kind of 2-bottle screw gem or
Mm.
it's a bus gem. And here we are. That's the end of these all the different videos.
All right.
So
Well, we can probably end it there then, but like it's super interesting
it is
because we're probably going to come back to this, right? Because
Yeah,
again,
we're
like,
definitely gonna come back to it to see if there's a
Yeah.
new dream or another spike, basically.
yeah, because it's already kind of like 50K per day. 50K per day. And I tried the Google Ads transparency, but you need to kind of search by game and company name. So I couldn't find Grand Games there. Whatever that means. Maybe they're not really running Google. I think they should. And then you have all the other channels. Like anything, basically. Anything besides Applavin and Facebook. I'm still I need to figure out where the sort mechanic came from, obviously from hyper casual, but also like what kind of CPI does it get, because it's kind of going into, like you said, like casual puzzle genre, and it's not really cheap segment. So I'm really trying to find out like what's the actual number.
My prediction for this is that they need to finish their live ops feature set, like the events, and like, you know how to do this. It's all much basically. So do that. And they're probably building it already. Second thing is have one more progression layer, either the Chronic collectible album that's been everywhere or whatnot, like just add one more layer there for sure. And then you need to start killing some kings, guys. In acid, lava, and everything. Like, I don't think so this thing will scale if they don't find their own kill the king or jump on any of those bandwagons that are already there.
Triple Match City, I would say, is more closer to this. Even look, Anatoly was showing us some of the different levels, basically for the UA.
Yeah. Like, I think still that in the current market, and we've seen this all the time, either you have the UA trick or you don't have a game.
No.
Yeah.
Period.
I just mentioned why I think China is really ahead, because the UA is game design, basically. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
UA game design is one basically there.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And with that
Yeah.
in mind, I think that's it's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Thank you much for coming, and please join the Slack channel. And
So you can get notified when
yes,
we return to the game.
exactly.
Check it out. How it's going.
Yeah, I think.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. See, thank you
We
very
need to
much
beat
again.
our old soundboard. So it's just
we
horrible.
need
We
so much fun.
stop.
Okay.
Next episode, no soundboard.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Oh.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Ciao.